All right, welcome back. Hopefully, this is now working. Uh, Shoot a comment in the comment section. If you can hear me okay, it should be working better. Although this is not ideal, I don't know what the hell's going on with my mic. So that's something I'm going to have to work out. Damn audio problems. Um, so one thing I want to do real quick is drop NaduShaveCo.com. There's a reason why our fathers and grandfathers continually used these products. All right, glad to hear audio's better. All right, but there's a whole reason why our fathers and grandfathers used these single blade safety razors for so long. They were the standard for a reason, and they weren't this multi-blade plastic China-made crap sold to you overpriced and sold to you by companies that absolutely hate you. So go to NADEAUSHAVECO.com, use promo code RISE15 and get 15% off. Let them know we sent you. Do Shave Co., where tradition beats modernity. So that guy's great. Anyways, so this was going to happen one way or another. I think this is a really important discussion. So let's just get a couple of important things out of the way. So Chase Oliver, presidential candidate for the Libertarian Party. Lots of people are upset about this. Various reasons for why they're upset. I myself am amongst the people who would consider themselves to be upset that he is the presidential candidate. I have my own personal reasons, and no, it has nothing to do with him being gay. However, it does bother me that that is the foot forward that he seems to be going with, because I thought being gay actually didn't matter. It's not important. So why are you running on it? If you were born that way, it's not an accomplishment, it's an immutable characteristic. Therefore, you didn't achieve anything. What is there to be proud of? It's just as important as skin color, hair color, shoe size. Like it's not good or bad, it just is. So it does bother me that it's such a talking point. But we'll get into that a little bit more. One thing I want to do, so I actually had a very difficult time finding the clip I wanted to use. It was actually right after Chase had won at the convention. He had gone up to the microphone and had talked about how he intended to bring unity to the party and to, bridge the gap between both sides, in this civil war that we're having in the party. So I couldn't find it. Apparently, YouTube will cut off a live stream after 11 hours and 55 minutes. I searched C-SPAN, searched everywhere. So if anybody can find this clip, send it to me. However, I did find another clip. Now, the audio on it is pretty bad. I don't know where this clip came from. Couldn't do anything about this audio. But I think it does kind of give the same message of what he plans on doing as far as the party goes. It's not exactly what he said at the mic at the convention. However, I think it does give the same message. So we're going to watch that real quick. And then we'll kind of start getting into the reasons why I believe Chase turning down Tim Pool for this debate with Jeremy Kauffman was actually a really bad thing, but ultimately it's a good thing. So let's go ahead and take a look at this clip.
But I want to run for president because I think it's time that we do have wins in this country. But we need a candidate who's going to have the energy, the enthusiasm to get across all 50 states and have the energy to really put our principles forward in a way that resonates with the average American voter. I'm traveling across this country.
Okay. The average American voter is who he's talking about. Well, I can tell you first and foremost, the average American voter does not give two shits if you're gay. There's always going to be people that have negative opinions about gay people. There's always going to be people with positive opinions. But if you're trying to go after the average American voter, they don't care. Now, the reason why it's going to be an issue is because of what the Pride movement itself, that's not all gay people. There's plenty of gay people just disgusted with the Pride movement. However, the average American doesn't care. And in fact, because it's being pushed so hard is why people keep calling him a Democrat, because only Democrats push that sort of behavior as if it's actually something. So this is what's bothering me, is from my point of view as him as a candidate. He's speaking about going after or appealing to the average voter. The average voter is going to be very turned off by his message. The reality of the situation in this country right now is that leftist policies or leftist stances are incredibly unpopular. And we'll come back to that. But let's go ahead and finish this clip.
I've hit 40 states so far. I'm about to break the 50-state threshold, which no candidate for president in the Libertarian Party pre or post nomination has ever done. Why? Because it's important to reach out to libertarians and voters in every single state to show them that the Libertarian Party is a 50-state campaign. We're ready to reach out to voters all across America. If you
One thing I wanted to point out real quick, pay attention to him talking about the Libertarian Party as the thing that he is the face of right now currently. This is really important to the points that I will be making.
want to live more free, more prosperous, and have more freedom in your life, more rights, and quit having your rights taken away and trampled on by a giant big government, we are the messenger for that. This party is the messenger, and we're going to have wins. We're going to have ballot access wins. We're going to have party status wins, and we are going to have local libertarians winning all over the country. But our job as a presidential candidate is to be the chief brain officer that puts our ideas out there in a way that is attractive, brings new people into the movement, grows the movement, and that's what I want to do. I want to make a...
Okay, that's what he wants to do. That's what he said. These are his words, not mine. Now, let's just finish the rest of the clip. We'll get to it. But this is just already firing me up.
Stronger Libertarian Party this year, next year, and the years to come. Go to votechaseoliver.com and get involved, and you'll see a lot of things we did not get the chance to talk about today because we were limited to 90 minutes. And I encourage you to ask me all kinds of questions. I'll be here throughout the night. Thanks, Mr.
Okay, so these are all great things, right? Like, these are all things that we would agree with, at least on the surface. Now, I am not a fan of him as a presidential candidate for the Libertarian Party. I do not believe that his message, I do not believe that parts of his message appeal to that wider audience he was referencing. This is a problem, in my opinion. Now, I do like the things that I agree with him on. The anti-war message, great. I'm a lot more radical when it comes to the Second Amendment than he is. I'm sure there's a couple of other things that are just not coming to mind right this second. However, what bothers me is, of course, the transing kids position, which I think Reason covered beautifully. I can't remember the woman's name. Hopefully everyone has seen that. If not, go check that out. Probably the only time you will ever hear me promote anything Reason does. They are a a trash rag, and they are not libertarian. However, that was a wonderful segment, him being pushed back on the trans kid issue. So there are things, but this is my personal stance. Now, I can disagree with somebody personally, but still support them if they were a good candidate or even a halfway good candidate. I will say that Chase is a much better candidate, or he's okay. Let me back that up just a little bit. Chase is more libertarian than Trump, Biden. So I don't disagree with that Chase is more libertarian than these two main candidates. Even more so than I would say RFK Jr. However, I don't believe he should be the face of the party. He's talking about going after mainstream voters, spreading the idea of the party, growing the party, doing all of these things. He's saying all the right things. Now, where this Tim Pool debate comes in, this is why I think it's so important, and this is why I wanted to talk about it. The issue is he is the face of the party. Okay, I disagree with him being nominated, but that's what the delegates wanted. Okay, I still disagree with it. I would have went with Noda. I think doing the work for ballot access is a lot better than having him as a candidate, which is how much I don't want him. But he is the candidate. So I don't inherently want him to fail, nor do I think anyone should inherently want him to fail. If you do want him to fail, I'm not going to fault you for that. But I don't think anyone should want to. Now, he was offered to go on to Tim Pool's Culture War podcast, which is actually on Tenet Media. I need to pull this up real quick, actually, just so I have current numbers. Okay, so from what I understand, from what was said in this, what was said in, sorry, trying to do too many things at once. What was said in the debate was that Tim Pool's booking had reached out to Chase Oliver and his campaign 2 weeks ago. They had waited until the evening, the night before, so yesterday, the 13th, June 13th, waited until that evening to tell them that they were declining the invitation. Chase is under no obligation to give anyone an interview. Nobody is obligated to give anyone an interview or to be forced to do something that they don't want to do. However, where I think it's different is Chase is the party. He's the face of the party. He's not the whole party. But Chase, right now, stepped into a role as the tip of the spear. Now, I heard excuses from everybody that did not want Chase to go. Tim Pool's irrelevant. Okay, well, right now, if I pull it up, let's see here. See, I will share this so you guys can see it. Should have had all this stuff ready. Honestly, I was just trying to get everything ready to go. Okay. Okay, give me just one sec. Okay, here we go. All right, so currently, what? Okay, so currently, Tim Pool is sitting at 2 million followers. 2 million followers. Everyone said that Tim Pool was irrelevant. I was even told, sent a screenshot of some poll that apparently conservatives don't know who Tim Pool is. Okay, well, I don't want Chase to only talk to conservatives. I don't only want Chase to talk to conservatives on Tim's platform. I would like him to speak to anyone he can possibly get in front of. The idea is to grow the party, right? Everyone hears about how, well, if people just knew what we believed, then they would probably be a libertarian. More people agree with us. If only they knew. We just need to get in front of people. We just need to get on the debate stage. Whatever people want to say. But then Chase is handed an opportunity to go onto a platform that once Tim tweets this out, it goes out to 2 million people. Now, for argument's sake, let's just go look this up. Okay. Okay. So Chase is currently sitting at 21.8K followers, 21,800 plus followers. Okay. I don't understand how somebody with that, comparatively speaking, that smaller of an audience can say that Tim Pool is irrelevant. On average, Tim Pool is pulling in millions of views. How is that irrelevant? I heard earlier today that Twitter or X is not real life. Well, yeah, you're right. It's the digital world, it's the digital public square. So it's not real life. But if it doesn't mean anything, okay, so it's not real life, it's the digital world. That doesn't mean it's irrelevant, seeing how the platform is still filled with leading journalists, both Mockingbird journalists and independent journalists, independent investigators. It's filled with world leaders still. It's filled with almost every government agency, US government agency you can think of, and foreign government agencies. People make money from this, lots of money. So exactly how is this not affecting real life? That's bullshit. So yeah, you're right. Uh, an autistic person that told me this earlier. It is not real life because it's on the internet. This platform still is one of the best places for news currently, uncensored news, anyways. One of the best, not the best. But to say that it's not real life, therefore it doesn't matter, is such an ignorant position. Of course it matters. Should it matter as much as it does? Probably not. But that's just not the world that we're in. So once again, I still don't understand how Tim Pool's not irrelevant. And I thought the idea was to get out in front of as many people as possible. We're supposed to be spreading the ideas of our party to as many people as possible. So as far as that goal of what he said that he wants to do, he failed today. And why did he fail? Well, one of the other reasons I was told that he didn't want to show up was because he didn't want to debate Jeremy Kauffman. Okay. I'm not sure exactly why. But I was also told that Jeremy Kauffman is irrelevant. This is 48,500 plus followers, while Chase is sitting at 21,800 followers. Okay, this is just a numbers game, but who's irrelevant here? And okay, the other excuse I heard, the platform's mean. These people actively hate him, Chase. So therefore, he shouldn't go on. He's just going to get metaphorically jumped. David, I see you. I have to give you shit on that, but that was just a bullshit excuse. The very idea that Tim is not going to maintain control of this and make sure that things are fair on behalf of Chase and Jeremy is absolutely ludicrous. Tim would be damaging his reputation if he just allowed a guest to come on and get completely railroaded. The way that people were talking about it was that everyone was going to come on and just berate the man, bring him to tears, because they already had run disinformation campaigns and they had already talked about how they hate him. And so therefore, he doesn't want to do it. Okay. I understand not wanting to be in a sticky situation. I understand not wanting to be in an uncomfortable situation. If he was any other party member, I would say, yeah, that's probably not the best use of your time. But you are the fucking face of the party. The delegates elected you to come in and spread the ideas of the party. Now, I compared it to this earlier, and I don't think it's I do not think it's a perfect comparison. However, Trump himself has the entire weight of the media industrial complex weighing down on his shoulders. Does he deserve it? Is it fair? Whatever. None of that really matters personally to me. That's a different discussion for a different day. What matters is, oh, they would be mean to me. So fucking what? Does Chase honestly think that if he's going to win, that everyone's just going to be nice to him? Do you think that he won't have to stand up in front of half the country, somewhere like 180 million people, and that they're not going to hate him? You have got to be fucking kidding me. You have lost your damn mind if you think that if, and he's not going to win, but if he were to win, that people are just going to love him. it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So I view this whole, oh, they would be mean to me, as a also bullshit excuse. So what if they're going to be mean to you? You're supposed to be the face of the party. You are the tip of the spear. You represent all of us who are dues-paying members. You represent all the people who are doing the work in the party, the county chairs, the state or the county executive committees, the state executive committees, and everything you do blows back on all of us, every single one of us. But you can't go on there because they're mean. Go fuck yourself, Chase, because you need to have a lot more backbone to be in politics anyways. You would have gotten a fair shake. For a guest to come on and get treated so badly, like the way that everyone was discussing that would happen if Chase went on, that would genuinely and actually damage Tim Pool's reputation for him allowing that to happen. Tim has a financial incentive to make sure that the conversation goes well. And not to mention, I brought up the fact that Chase actually could have the opportunity to sway some people in his direction. Somebody asked me, oh yeah, who? And then that's when I got sent the screenshot of the poll that, apparently conservatives don't know Tim Pool. I don't give a shit if conservatives don't know Tim Pool. I assume most of his audience is probably conservative, lots of independents, and a little bit of libertarian. Once again, it doesn't matter what these people believe. Just because they're conservative or independents or whatever they believe, they're not worth talking to. They're not worth trying to sway over. And you're trying to tell me that everyone that would watch that is not going to be swayed. I call bullshit. That is bullshit. And let's say, for argument's sake, nobody is swayed. Not a single person is swayed by Chase appearing on this show. You're not even willing to try. That is insane to me. That is absolutely insane to me. You are a fucking presidential candidate. Grow the fuck up. So, Tim Pool's irrelevant. Jeremy Kauffman's irrelevant. They're not going to win anybody. So it doesn't even matter anyways. They hate him and they're going to treat him bad. These are the excuses. Okay. The last main excuse I heard, he already had something scheduled. He already had something scheduled. Well, exactly what did he have scheduled that was so important that he couldn't have done something better? What was so important? Well, let's just take a look real quick. Okay, so Chase, on the 14th, today, the day of the Tim Pool debate, the Jeremy Kauffman debate, is going to be in Portland, Maine, right? ME, Maine. But he just so happens to line up his schedule with a Pride event, which, okay, how many Pride events does Chase have scheduled for the month of June? How many Pride events has Chase already attended? If what Tim Pool is saying is true, and until I see proof otherwise, I tend to believe this, that they reached out 2 weeks ago. That's not a whole lot of time. With a presidential candidate, I think you should definitely reach out with a bit more time. So I won't say that was, the best amount of time to, give him a heads up. But you're going out to somewhere you're going to a state that, one, you've already been before, but then you get an opportunity to reach a much larger audience than whatever the hell you're going to be doing in this state. So like I said earlier, let's just take a look at exactly what the numbers for this are right now. Let's see here. Okay, currently, let's see. Nope, wrong one. So we are looking at, let's see here. So 52,524 views as of right this minute. There's always a little lag in views, so it's probably a little bit higher than that. So how many people realistically does Chase plan on talking to today with his event that he apparently had planned previously from 7 to 10 p.m. June 14th? Looking at these two events, these two opportunities, is it a good thing to schedule an event and cancel? No, it is not. However, when you have a better opportunity as a candidate, you jump at it. Does anyone realistically believe that Chase Oliver would be able to reach 52,524 people or more at this event? What are the odds of him meeting 50 people, 100 people? And then to go further, what are the odds that most of these people have already chosen to vote for him? So the choice really was between going to an event that you're most likely going to speak to a few people, and speaking to people face to face, I will grant, is much better. However, it is always fewer people. Always. The current situation that we are in with communications is that people usually don't have the time to go out to go do anything. They definitely don't have the money to go out and go spend. You can reach way more people with a podcast than you can with almost anything else. So I don't see how this event is better at his stated goal. His stated goal.
I want to run for president because I think it's time that we do have wins in this country. But we need a candidate who's going to have the energy, the enthusiasm to get across all 50 states and have the energy to really put our principles forward in a way that resonates with the average American voter. I'm traveling across this country. I've hit 40 states so far. I'm about to break the 50-state threshold, which no candidate for president in the Libertarian Party pre or post nominations ever done. Why? Because it's important to reach out to libertarians and voters in every single state to show them that the Libertarian Party is a 50-state campaign. We're ready to reach out to voters all across America. If you want to live more free, more prosperous, and have more freedom in your life, more rights, and quit having your rights taken away and trampled on by a giant big government.
If you want to have more rights, it's a leftist talking point, but
We are the messenger for that. This party is the messenger, and we're going to have wins. We're going to have ballot access wins. We're going to have party status wins, and we are going to have local libertarians winning all over the country. But our job as a presidential candidate is to be the chief brain officer that puts our ideas out there in a way that is attractive, brings new people into the movement, grows the movement, and that's what I want to do. I want to make...
Okay, Chase, your words. That's what your job is. That's what you want to do. Then why didn't you do that? Now, here's the big thing that is really bothering me. The really big thing. If the Libertarian Party was an actual corporation, then the people who sit on executive committees, people that sit on, the actual party itself, these would also be the board members of a corporation. Now, if Chase was, decided upon to be the advertising face of this corporation that we're all board members on because we have put forth our money, we've invested into this, and with the Libertarian Party, we put our money, we put our time, we put our energy, usually deal with lack of sleep, don't eat that much. I mean, depending on what you do for the party. But nonetheless, most of us are doing this on a voluntary basis. We don't get kickbacks. We don't get paid for doing this. So we are investing in the party. We are just like a board member. And anyone can try to argue me on that. And this is exactly what we're doing. But even dues-paying party members are somewhat like a board member for a corporation. They are investing their money and their time and their energy. They're talking to their friends, their family, their co-workers, their the members of their church, the members of their school. They are putting time and effort into this. They are expecting that the face of advertising is going to advertise this and get the message out in the way that he said he wants to do.
These new people in the movement, grows the movement, and that's what I want to do. I want to make a stronger Libertarian Party this year, next year, and the years to come.
Let's actually just back that up a little bit further.
Attractive, brings new people into the movement, grows the movement.
Okay, so
our ideas out there in a way that is attractive, brings new people into the movement, grows the movement, and that's what I want to do. I want
to... Okay. I don't like that you're the candidate, Chase, but you are. So okay. I will get behind you if you can show me that you can do these things that you are talking about. If you can actually do these things, be a great messenger for liberty, then I will. I will get behind you. So far, you got handed a wonderful opportunity on a silver platter, and instead of handling it professionally, it was absolutely childish, and your entire camp came out, defended you, and made you look even worse. And then you didn't do any of the things that you actually said that you wanted to do, that you were supposed to do as the face of the party. Now, I'll say this, Chase, if you actually ever see this, I doubt you will. This isn't something personal. Well, actually, I take that back. This actually is personal. And I'll tell you why. This is personal because I have dedicated a large chunk of my life to growing this party, to do the things that you have done, or do the things that you say you want to do. I'm doing it. There are plenty of people in my state doing it. There are plenty of people in other states and other counties and other cities doing it as well. Now, to be fair, this is not to say that he hasn't done anything. He has done things. He has done other media appearances. The problem with this is because the media appearances he has done are ones that favor him for the message that he is sending out that is actually alienating about half the party. This is the other half of the party who might not agree with him. He's not even willing to engage with. So exactly who is he growing the party for? Exactly who is he trying to bring into the party? Bring something else up here. We're going to wrap up here soon because I didn't intend for this to be this long. However, now this is a person who is very much pro-Chase. A person that actually does have sway in the party, actually can get things done in the party. However, I do not view him as a libertarian. He is a leftist. He would be a great Democrat. He would be a very successful Democrat. Jonathan Casey. Oh, Johnny. Little Johnny boy. The best. Okay, Jonathan Casey. Let's see, this was just on the 11th. Do not donate anything to the LP National until they disaffiliate state parties that refuse to put Chase Oliver on the ballot and replace them with ones that will. Donate to Chase Oliver instead. That's not a unifying message. If I was Chase, I would have said something about this. If Chase has the intention of growing the party, growing unity, then okay, let's do that. I agree. This is not it. This is not helping the growth of the movement. This is not helping the growth of the party, which you revere so much, that you are so concerned about being taken over by these far-right extremists that aren't actually libertarians, and let's take the party back from the right because they don't belong here. Mind you, Jonathan Casey's also a man, I use that term lightly, that has rejected Ron Paul. Okay, I get it. Not everyone has to like everyone. But it's not just that he's rejected Ron Paul. He's outright called Ron Paul not libertarian. Okay, well, he ran as a libertarian 88. He ran as a Republican. He won as a Republican. However, he identifies as a libertarian. Everyone considers him to be a libertarian. He has advanced the Libertarian Party more than any of these so-called left libertarians. He has done more for the movement than any of these people could ever hope to do. So I don't exactly understand where anybody gets the opinion that Ron Paul is not a libertarian. Okay, you disagree with him. That's fine. But that doesn't not make him a libertarian. Oh, but he's guilty by association, because there are some people who have turned around and apparently had some what they consider to be racist views, and because Ron Paul surrounded himself with them, then that makes him guilty too. Guilt by association is bullshit. That doesn't, even if, say for instance, you stand right next to a hardcore Aryan Brotherhood white supremacist, fresh out of prison, and for whatever reason you decide to go have lunch with him. That does not make you a Aryan Brotherhood. That does not make you a white supremacist. Guilt by association is bullshit. I can't think of anything else. It is intellectually dishonest to equate those two things. Oh, well, they did this for you, so therefore. No, that's intellectually lazy, or in my opinion, I believe it to be intellectually dishonest intentionally. It's intentionally meant to subvert and to rile up their base, who are not libertarians. They have every intention of turning the Libertarian Party leftist. Now, does the Libertarian Party have left-leaning views? Of course. Does the Libertarian Party have right-leaning views? Of course. Is the Libertarian Party left or right? Neither. The Libertarian Party is libertarian. It is not left or right. So this same person has come out many a times and said that the right are the problem within the party. And yes, Jonathan Casey definitely wants to stay within an echo chamber, which is why he muted me. And yes, the Tim Pool podcast was earlier today. He probably couldn't have done both only because of the travel time. Tim Pool is in West Virginia, and I believe he's up in Maine. So, I mean, maybe he could have, but that would have been a tight squeeze. I understand not trying to do both things in one day. A little too far of a drive. However, if you have the choice between reaching 52,000 people and the choice of reaching 50, 100, I'm sorry, Chase, but you are obligated. You are obligated by your own words to reach as many people as possible. By the position you wanted, the position you stepped in, the position we said, okay, you are going to be the face. By that position that you wanted so dearly, that everyone wanted you in, everyone meaning your camp, everyone out of your camp wanted you in, you are obligated to send that message out to as many people as possible. There is absolutely zero excuse for why you did not go. As a board member, back to my analogy, as a board member of this libertarian corporation, I have invested my time, money, energy, and my unrefundable time. I will never be able to get back my time. I'll never be able to get back anything else either. But time is irreplaceable. I am an investor into this corporation. You were given the task of promoting it the most efficient way possible. You have failed your what's the term? It's your fiduciary responsibility in the means of a corporation. That would mean that you are not living up to your fiduciary responsibility for the investors. That's something you could get sued for in a corporation. You, Chase Oliver, has gone out of your way to, instead of reaching across the aisle, bringing unity to the party, have turned around and done the very thing that lots of people said that you were going to do, and that's sow division in the party. And that's exactly what you have done. You went instead to a group of people that you already agree with, that are already going to vote for you. You're not growing the party. As an investor into this party, as somebody who begrudgingly, nonetheless, but must accept that you are the candidate for the party that I invest my time into, you are fucking the investors. You are helping your friends. You are helping the people that have every interest in literally changing fundamental principles of the Libertarian Party. What's funny is Jonathan Casey also turned around and told me that he himself, or that I, Jacob, because was active in the Mises Caucus and got active due to Dave Smith and his interest before he dropped. That means that I am complicit in helping the now current chair, Angela McArdle, sell out the party to Trump. Trump, who got all but 6 votes at the convention. Trump, who got consistently and constantly booed at the convention. That's who we sold the party out to. You have got to be fucking kidding me. That is the stupidest and most dishonest thing I have ever heard. No. We wanted a functional Libertarian Party. We wanted somebody who was actually going to appeal to a broad audience. We wanted to be able to put somebody up there that can actually argue these positions regardless of who they go up to and regardless of how mean they are to them. We wanted somebody competent, somebody that actually spreads the ideas in an attractive way. Not somebody who runs because they're going to be mean to me or I already had something scheduled. No, this whole thing, it's setting a precedence. Now, here's the thing. Chase could have, early on, when they first reached out to him, said, no, I'm not doing it. Doesn't have to tell anyone why. He could have come out. The professional thing would have been, look, I already have something. It would have been a short comment, a tweet directly from him. I already have something booked. I appreciate the invitation. Thank you so much. I can't do it at this time, but maybe we can do it in the future. How fucking hard was that? Instead, he stays silent and creates a bunch of drama. And yes, I am going to pin that on him because this warranted a comment from him. He didn't have to do it. But not handling this in a professional manner is what led to all of this.
A stronger Libertarian Party this year, next year, and the run for president, because I think it's time that we do have wins in this country. But we need a candidate who's going to have the energy, the enthusiasm to get across all 50 states and have the energy to really put our principles forward in a way that resonates with the average American voter. I'm traveling across this country. I've hit 40 states so far. I'm about to break the 50-state threshold, which no candidate for president in the Libertarian Party pre or post nomination has ever done. Why? Because it's important to reach out to libertarians and voters in every single state to show them that the Libertarian Party is a 50-state campaign. We're ready to reach out to voters all across America. If you want to live more free, more prosperous, and have more freedom in your life, more rights, and quit having your rights taken away and trampled on by a giant big government, We are the messenger for that. This party is the messenger, and we're going to have wins. We're going to have ballot access wins. We're going to have party status wins, and we are going to have local libertarians winning all over the country. But our job as a presidential candidate is to be the chief brain officer that puts our ideas out there in a way that is attractive, brings new people into the movement, grows the movement, and that's what I want to do. I want to make a stronger libertarian party this year, next year, and the years to come. Go to votechaseoliver.com and get involved, and you'll see a lot of things we did not get the chance to talk about today because we were limited to 90 minutes, and I encourage you to ask me all kinds of questions. I'll be here throughout the night. Thanks, Mr.
Well, so far, 3 states have turned around and said that they will not accept Chase as their candidate. Whether it's right or wrong, whether that's the appropriate response, doesn't fucking matter. Chase is not delivering on what he said he wanted to. There are plenty of reasons why. I believe I've laid out several of why this was actually a bigger issue. Now, I will say, within all fairness, because I am an honest person and I'm a fair person, I am not going to say, oh, this one bad thing happened, so therefore, this is what's going to happen forever. I have been proven wrong before. He could do something miraculous and do a 180. However, I don't believe he's going to. There is no indication of anything that he is doing or the people that support him that anything is going to change. And as a board member on this libertarian corporation, you are screwing me out of my investment. And you're doing it because you want you and your friends to own the party. You have zero interest in unifying jack shit. I would have no problem if he genuinely wanted to unify the party and made a genuine effort towards it. I would love that. I would genuinely love to see unification over this. But if it's continuing down the path that it's on, there are going to be more states that reject him as a candidate. The party's going to be more divided than ever. And if it keeps heading down that road, who knows if the party will even exist at some point. Of course, his camp would be more than okay with this, although they'll tell you that they're not. So this is actually a major slap in the face to everyone that does want a functioning libertarian party, because it has nothing to do with left versus right. It has nothing to do versus gay versus straight, black versus white. Whatever immutable characteristic you want to bring up, it has nothing to fucking do with that. It has something to do with liberty. And when you pick and choose who you want liberty for, you're actually not for liberty. Now, I don't want Chase Oliver to fail, but I believe he's going to. And I don't believe it's because racists or homophobes or whatever it may be. I believe it's genuinely because Chase is off-putting. He does not sell the message. He is not a viable candidate. Not for president. Now, this last Tim Pool thing, I think it shows the exact direction it's going to head. If, by some chance, it turns out that it doesn't go this direction, I will gladly eat my words. Everyone listening to this right now, everyone that listens to it later, hold me to my words. If I am wrong about this, I will gladly admit that I was wrong. But I do not believe that I will be. This is going to be the lowest turnout for the Libertarian Party. People are willing to put ballot access on the line in their state versus having him as a candidate. They didn't even do that for Bill Weld. Let that sink in for a second. So, is this all bad? It's mostly bad. Like the title says, it is mostly bad. However, it's not all bad. Because here's the thing. If Chase wants to play it safe, and if Chase wants to stay off big platforms, it's going to make it a hell of a lot easier for us to continue growing the party if he's not associated with it. So please, by all means, stay off the big platforms. By all means, stay at your little meet and greet events that you have. By all means, please do that, because it's going to make my job a lot easier to continue bringing people into the party instead of having to explain to them all of these different things with Chase. So stay irrelevant, stay off the big platforms. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that. So we're going to wrap up here. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know, I didn't intend for it to be an hour long. This just fires me up and it pisses me off. And as somebody who feels that I'm getting screwed, and all of the people in my party, not just my state, national, county, city, everything, we're all getting screwed. And that is the reality of it. I hope it changes. I don't think it's going to. So, on that note, thank you all so much for tuning in for another episode of Rise to Liberty. This is kind of a break from what I've been doing. So I kind of needed this for a minute. I will be working on another video that should be coming out here. I'll be recording it tonight. It is going to be about Dave Chappelle and exactly what happened to him, why he took off to Africa. I think I know exactly what happened to him. So we're going to sit down for story time, and I'm going to tell a very interesting story about him being visited and why he felt it necessary to take off to Africa without even telling his wife or kids until he was there. So make sure and go to risetoliberty.com/links, or you can just go ahead and scan that QR code. Take your phone out, scan that QR code, and it pulls everything up. You can find me at Rise to Liberty on X or Twitter, whatever you still call it. You can find Rise to Liberty on Telegram, at Rise to Liberty Pod on Instagram. Those are pretty much the platforms that I am active the most on. If you found value in this, please go ahead, share this far and wide. Go ahead and clip it up, send it out. Let's get this out. I think this is actually a very important subject, and I have yet to see anybody bring up these topics. So on that note, unfortunately, I can't play my my outro, at least with the music. So, but until next time, stay free, my friends.